It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. It is Friday. We have made it to the end of the week. We've gotten through a dreary couple of days, and I wish I could tell you that the dreary weather is going to go away for the weekend, but that wouldn't be true. I'm tracking a cold front that's heading our direction this morning. In fact, for our far northwestern counties, the cold front is through. And temperatures unusually warm this morning. I mean, we're in the mid 60s out there this morning. Don't be fooled by that number. Today is one of those days where as soon as the front comes through your town, you almost immediately get this strong wind shift. Winds will shift from the south to the north, and the cold air is going to start filtering into the Ozarks. So it's one of those days where we actually hit our high temperature pretty early in the day, and then the numbers go tumbling down through the afternoon hours. Typically, when we're seeing our highs, we're going to be dropping here in the Ozarks. And I think that front comes through Springfield about midday today. So we'll see the second half of the day feature the north wind, the crashing temperatures, and some rainfalls coming with it. So lovely weather to end the work week with. I expect that as we head into the weekend, kind of more of the same. We have the cold air in place. It continues to push all that cold Arctic air down into the Ozarks. And it's just going to be pretty dreary across the region. I am tracking that cold front that comes through today. That will result in more rain today through the weekend forecast. A few thunderstorms are possible. I mean, we're talking a few rumbles of thunder. It is not going to be severe weather. My bigger concern, however, is going to be with maybe too much water by the time we keep adding on Saturday and Sunday. We could have a few places in the Ozarks that are dealing with flooding. So a big heads up for you folks out there that have maybe gotten a little bit much already this season. More rain on the way, and it's going to come cold and with a north wind. Today, widespread rain showers all the way from Texas back up through the Ohio River Valley and the Great Lakes region. This is a really strong cold front, and it's this cold Canadian air mass that's sitting behind it. So as soon as the front comes through for us today, all that really cold air starts to pool in, and we're about to see some of the coldest numbers of the season so far with a hard freeze on the horizon for early next week. Temperatures today, they don't look bad, but again, don't be fooled by those highs today. We make it to the 70s. I think we make it to the low 70s here in Springfield. Places back to the south and east will be warmer than that. For example, places like West Plains, maybe in the upper 70s for highs today, simply because the front's taking a little bit more time to make it to you. Your numbers will crash as soon as the front gets there, but you probably won't feel the effects of that cold air until tonight. Now, we have this wind today, this morning. It's already pretty breezy out of the southwest. The north wind is going to kick in 15 to 20 miles an hour for that wind on Saturday out of the north. 25 to 30 miles an hour by Sunday with cold air just gripping the Ozarks. Really good chance for rain by Saturday and Sunday, as well as that frontal boundary gets hung up and does what we call stalls out over the Ozarks, meaning that it creates this boundary where we can see additional rounds of showers and thunderstorms. Through the weekend, I think we could see perhaps another 2 to 3 inches of rain that's beginning now through Sunday. That could be too much in some places. So flooding is a potential along low-lying areas, places that are prone to flooding. Remember the magic phrase, turn around, do not drown. 1 to 3 inches of rainfall. And sometimes it could be coming down pretty heavy, so we could see it pool up a little bit quickly in some places. That's going to be the concern for the Ozarks this weekend through Sunday, so do not let your guard down. Another thing to note, we haven't had a freeze yet. However, the temperatures are colder, which means the ground is colder and the soil just doesn't absorb water like it does in the springtime when we're in the peak of growing season. So a lot of that runoff can happen a little bit easier in the colder months. Cold air will definitely be a headline for us this weekend with temperatures crashing through Saturday and Sunday. And then the first hard freeze of the season is in store for us at the start of next work week. I'm thinking we're going to see numbers dip down into the 20s in spots. It is going to be really chilly across the region. In fact, most cities across the Ozarks have a really good chance of seeing a temperature below 28 degrees. That would be a hard killing freeze and end the growing season for anything that's still going. High temperature today, 71 degrees, but we hit that about 1, 2 o'clock. Then numbers crash. If you're heading to Friday night football tonight, it is going to be cold, cold, cold. Prepare for that. Any trunk or treat events, Halloween things going on this weekend, make sure you dress the kids in an extra layer, add a coat to the costume, put under a long sleeve shirt underneath. We have rain in the forecast both Saturday and Sunday. And not only will it be cold with rain, but there's wind too. So maybe that wind chill factor playing a role for us by Saturday and Sunday as well. We finally get the rain to come to an end by Monday, but that's when we have to be concerned with the really cold temperatures. Hard freeze possible Monday morning, again Tuesday morning, maybe again Wednesday morning. I mean, it's going to be really cold around the Ozarks, staying in the 40s as we head through Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Highs in the 40s and below average each of those days. That's the headline for us around the country making headlines. Of course, that first major snowfall event of the season, that's wrapping up today for the Rockies and the Northern Plains. In fact, the last few flakes will be flying here in the next couple of hours, putting an end to that first winter storm. Heavy rain, though, for the Southern Plains. We're going to get in on that heavy rain here in the Ozarks, and then much above average temperatures happening on the East Coast. Winter-like cold happening for the northern and central plains. We see that cold air really arrive for us by the end of the weekend into the early part of next week. All right, let's revisit that Around the Ozarks brain twister question brought to you by Scooter's Coffee. This is the question that I left you with yesterday, and it has to do with some Halloween history. The history of Halloween can be traced all the way back to which ancient civilization? I gave you the options of A, Romans, B, Sumerians, C, the Germanic tribes, or D, the Celts. Well, those of you that answered D, the Celts, you are correct. Halloween originally dates back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain. The Celts, who lived 2,000 years ago, mostly in an area that is now considered Ireland and the UK and northern France, they celebrated their new year on November 1st, and somehow that tradition of their new year was morphed into what we now celebrate as Halloween on October 31st, of course, which somehow is next week already. All right, here is your brain twister question that I will leave you with and have the answer for early Monday morning. When was the last time there was a full moon on Halloween? Do you think that happened in A, 1992, B, 2001, C, 2020, or D, 2022? I will have the answer for you Monday morning, first thing on Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. Thanks so much for listening this morning. I hope you find a way to stay warm this weekend, stay dry, and it's a good weekend to just stay inside, watch some spooky movies, and stay cozy. I'll have more weather information for you coming up again on Monday morning. And for more weather information all day long, you can check out aroundtheozarks.com. I will catch you right back here on Monday morning. Have a great weekend.